Whenever I read an ad for a car that mentions surface rust, I usually avoid it, and this is why. In states that salt their roads, the panels usually rust from the inside out. So in this case, I'm going to move the camera up so you can see this little bit of surface rust and what it actually is. Here's a close-up shot of something that might be called surface rust. But if we dig deeper, we'll find out that it's a lot more than just surface rust. So first of all, let's just tap on it a little bit and see if the metal is thick. And from that right there, we can see that this is very thin metal. So and look at that. So that's a lot of rust in there. So let's cut on this a little bit and see how much rust we actually have. So this is all thin metal right here, and I'm going to keep cutting until I find thick metal. It's still thin, still thin, still thin, still thin, thin, all the way out to here, and that starts to feel a little bit better. So we're going to come all the way back here, and I think it's still thin out to here, so that's thick. And let's cut that out. So, as you can see, what looked like an innocent spot of surface rust has turned out to be something much greater than just surface rust. So this is usually why, if I read an ad on Craigslist or something similar and I see has a bit of surface rust, I usually avoid it. Now let's take a look at another spot that might be called surface rust. Here we see a little bit of rust showing and some bubbling paint. And you might think that this is just on the outside. And right now it does look like it's surface rust. It's pretty sturdy, but let's take this chrome off and see what's behind it. Now in this case it does look like it is just surface rust, but let's grind it and see if we have something worse. Now I'm going to tap on it a little bit with a pointy hammer, or maybe even this real sharp point, to see how very thin the metal is. Now here's a super close-up view of that area. And after tapping on it and examining some deep pits, I decided to test the thickness of this area with this sharp scratch awl. And I put it into one of the deepest pits, which was right here, and I gave it a tap with the hammer, and it went right through. So essentially this would have to be cut out because it's very thin. this would have to be cut out, welded up, knocked down, filled, primed, and painted. So, in one fender we have 2 bad spots, which were called surface rust. So I hope you enjoyed this video on whether or not you should buy a car that has surface rust. And if you did, and you'd like to get my latest videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.